Today we're going to do Walk in the Shoes of a Dyslexic. I'm Cindy.
I'm Kim.
And I'm Tiffany.
Okay, so we have a little simulation activity today. And
All right.
so I've got a little code over here, Tiffany. I know you're looking forward to this. When you see the letter Q, you're going to either pronounce it as a D or a T. If you see
Okay.
Z or a Z, you're going to pronounce it as a and so on and so forth. The key will be off to the side the entire time. But to give you an
Okay.
example, if you were to see this, you would actually read it as tar or bar. If you would see this, you would read it as
Yeah,
mat. If you would see this, you would read it as
that's
bed.
bad. Okay.
Okay. And you're going to read aloud for us the best you
All
can.
right. The best I can. All right.
Why don't you
So
shake it off?
we begin our trip at a fa familiar place, a body like yours and mine. Eyes, it contains 100 trillion calls. Um, that work. I'm trying. Okay,
You're
hold on.
doing great.
Paragraph by design, and within each of these many calls,
Okay,
each
you
one.
can stop. All right. So our thought activity for everybody
Gotcha.
is so Tiffany, what strategies were you using?
So at first I was going with the clues and the things I need to switch, but at that time it got so exhausting that I just started looking at the bigger words and just guessing if it made sense to me. And it became slightly more effective, but I was very confused and burnt out at that point. So
Now, Kim, did you try it all?
I did try, yes, and
And
I
what
got
did you
burned
do?
out. Well, it's what I see my kids do. They become addicted to guessing,
yeah.
and I have to deprogram them from guessing.
Okay. So which strategy was more effective? The substitute or guess based on context?
Guess for me. It just got to the point where I was guessing it.
When when I didn't understand a word, I would go back to substituting, which slowed, basically your
Yes.
sentence into a billion pieces.
Okay. So the inclination was to guess versus use the key.
For
Would you
fatigue.
agree? Yeah.
I would agree.
And then would you have wanted to use a tool to help you read it more effectively, like have somebody read it to you?
Yes.
Okay, well, here is the actual passage. So
Oh wow.
now go ahead and give it a roll, Tiff. Read the first two sentences.
We begin our trip at a familiar place, a body like yours and mine. It contains 100 trillion cells that work together by design. That's what it meant. Okay.
Yeah. So it when you know the words, when you can break the code, but if you can't automatically and fluidly do that, now, what's really
Hmm.
interesting when we looked at this prior to actually stepping into it, I can actually read the prior one better than most people can
Right.
because my dyslexic strategies are pretty well developed around that. So, the outcome or the important thing is most people, the majority of the population, needs to be explicitly taught how we read, how we spell, what are the rules, why does it
Hmm.
work the way that it does. And then that
Right.
begs the question, what is the right way to do it? And the key term is structured literacy.
Hmm.
Structured literacy is based on originally Orton Gillingham based phonics decoding components. And then they did the science of reading and a seminal piece of research called The Voice of Evidence. It's a book that goes over the meta analysis of the research literature. So they coined the term science of reading. The Orton Dyslexia Society, otherwise known as, uh, I can't believe I'm spacing on this, International Dyslexia Association. Oh my goodness, what a word fade day. Um, coined the term structured literacy because it's easier to understand the tenets of it. And they break
Hmm.
it out this way. So we need to learn phonology, we need to learn sound symbol correspondence, the rules of syllable division, and the 6 syllable types. Uh, Kim, morphology is,
Meaning of the individual chunks within the word.
and
Previous.
Tiffany, do you know syntax and semantics?
I knew morphology, but I can explain syntax and semantics that well. So could you take it away?
Sure. Kim, do you want to do it or you want me to do it?
Do it.
Syntax is the way we put words together to make grammatically correct sentence, and
Hmm.
semantics is the meaning that we get out of those sentences, right?
Right.
So the difference, I can create a syntactically correct sentence saying the elephant only ate the banana
Hmm.
versus only the elephant ate the banana. Both are grammatically correct, but both have very different and use the exact same words, but both have very different meanings. So this is why we teach reading, because we have to put all of those pieces together to build readers. And the ultimate goal of reading instruction is not decoding, it's not being able to do, beautiful audible books. It's to understand what you've read. And all of
Hmm.
those pieces come together
To create
in
comprehension.
this.
I mean, without comprehension, if you can decode words but not know what the sentence means, what good is it?
Right.
Tell us if this is helpful. We'd love to hear your comments, your likes. Thanks.